I was wrong about Skyward Sword. It's actually not the worst Zelda game in the franchise. It's this one. I finally got to play Skyward Sword HD, and I can officially say it's 100 times better than the Wii version. It's faster, the controls are better than they were, and the story is one of the more engaging in the entire franchise. The villain Girahim is amazing as well, and I wish the series would show us more baddies that aren't Ganon. Music-wise, it's some of the strongest in the entire series, and the dungeons too. Koloktos is one of the best bosses that I've ever fought. And I have to admit, it's cool seeing the origin story of the entire series. There's just one thing I can't get off my mind. It's that the game fucking sucks! Nintendo did a lot to improve the game, yes, and because of that, it might be one of Nintendo's greatest remasters of a Zelda game. But a remake can't save a game that isn't fun at its core. Motion controls just are not fun. They just aren't. At least not in this game. Even though the motion controls are technically better than Twilight Princess, I found them more cumbersome to use. The fact that you can't swing your sword while moving is also incredibly irritating to me. I really wish Nintendo would just stick with gyro controls. Gyro aim is amazing. Luckily, Breath of the Wild has the motion controls thing completely figured out, and is perfect. Unfortunately, I just found this game to be too far in the motion control direction. This game forces motion controls on you constantly. The enemies, they're not fun to fight. The bird flapping is fucking annoying. Yeah, you can do button-only controls, but it takes away the option to freely move the camera, and it just feels awkward. Most Zelda games are pretty linear, but it felt like this one took it to a whole new level. While I really enjoyed the dungeons of this game, more so than a lot of Zelda games, it sort of felt like the entire game was a dungeon. Even Faron Woods and Elden Desert or whatever the fuck felt like just a big dungeon that I was getting to another dungeon in. And the backtracking honestly just drove me insane. It made the world feel smaller, even though it only has 3 or 4 areas, so it already felt very small. It made it feel even smaller. It's like the Triforce quest on Wind Waker times 100. On a previous video, I said that Skyward Sword was my least favorite Zelda game, and I don't think it is anymore. I recently played Zelda 2, and that game is officially the worst in the entire series. It stands out like a sore thumb, it's weird, I don't like it. I find it very frustrating that this game isn't as good as I wanted it to be. I've always wanted it to be the best. I love 3D Zelda games. Twilight Princess is one of my favorites. This game just really kind of pisses me off, and that's all I really have to say about it right now. So fight about it in the comments. Goodbye.